I'm going to talk about doping. We're going to talk about doping. First of all, this video does contain explicit content. If that's sensitive to you, please click off the video now. Also, this video does contain, I might get you to critically think. Some people have an allergy to critical thinking. They're offended by critical thinking. If that's you, please click off the video now, because we're going to be real and we're going to be raw in this video. And I'm going to talk about doping, the sport of doping. Doping in sport, doping in society, the social narrative of doping. I'm going to do a bit of a deep dive here. I first started doping at school running races when I was 8 years of age. There's no jump cuts in this video, there's no script. I'm just going to talk off the top of my head. This is all just truth, real world experiences. I've done steroids, anabolic steroids before, beta-2 agonists. I've used corticosteroids before, stimulants, legal, illegal, otherwise, dating back from when I was age 8. Age 8 was when I first used probably the most powerful doping product on the market, salbutamol, aka Ventolin. This stuff was banned at the Olympics. It's been around since about 1966. People are like, hang on, Ventolin? That's not doping? That's not drugs? No, there's a scandal there. This little puffer here is the most powerful drug I've ever used as a runner or a cyclist. Nothing comes close to this. I've used steroids, anabolic steroids. They're not even on the chart when it comes to this. If we're talking pharmaceutical products, this is the most powerful steroid I've ever used. Second would be prednisone. Why is that? I've got a cat up here. I have allergies to cats, allergies to hay fever, dust, etc. Not sure why. Being a vegan has definitely helped with that. I don't rely on this like I used to. But sometimes I have asthma and I can't really breathe that well. And this makes the difference between 350 watts and 250 watts. This little puffer here, you know what I mean? 100 watt different just from that. Just from a couple squirts of that is game change. And when this doesn't work, prednisone, which I haven't used for a couple of years now because prednisone's got a lot of side effects with it. But this, you know what I mean? This is the most powerful doping product I can think of. More powerful than EPO. It's just, if you have breathing difficulties and you take salbutamol, it's 100 watt difference. All right? If you don't have breathing difficulties, this still gives a performance advantage. This has been on the ban list for a long time. Chris Froome got in trouble with his salbutamols, etc. But yeah, it's common as. So I first started doping at age 8, and I still use this product here and there now and then. If I want to do a PR or whatever, I'll use a couple of squirts of this. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But generally, if I had it, cats cut out there. Not enough salbutamol in it. So yeah, this is the thing, man. I remember at sports day, having this for the first time ever. My mum would write a note for me. Harley has asthma, and the doctor's like, the teacher's like, Harley, have you had your asthma puffer? And so I'm lining up, having a few squirts of this, and I can breathe all of a sudden now. It's like, and so I was, my school teacher was helping me dope. My mum helped me dope. My local doctor helped me dope. They helped me do things my body can't do naturally. And they introduced me to this doping mindset. If you can't do it naturally, pharmacy has a product that can help you. And people go, no, that's not true. That's not doping. I take that. If I take it, it's not doping. This is doping, man. This is doping. No, doping's EPO, steroids. It's like, no, yes. All those things. If you're taking a pharmaceutical product to enhance your performance, you, my friends, are doping. That's caffeine, that's steroid, that's salbutamol. Obviously, there's a degree of is it legal, illegal? Is it TUE? Can you get a doctor's prescription to be okay with that? Is it you take a little bit, not too much over the limit? That's a different area, all right? But this is doping. It's doping, man. And you can say it's not. If you use a painkiller, so you'll feel less pain at work or whatever, so you can do your job properly, you're doping, man. If a professional cyclist has a few squirts of this to do their job properly, they're doping. And so are you, all right? That's how it is. That's why I say we should get rid of all the drug tests, get rid of all the hypocrisy, have it all even, and go, okay, you want to take drugs? No worries. Be open about it, because there's no consequence. Now we can have safety for the athlete, for the people out there, versus people, I don't use drugs. Come on, man. Everyone's using drugs at some level. So, and that's good for your health. is it good for you to be having asthma and you can't breathe, you're stressing cortisol out, and you take a few squats, this, I can breathe, the smooth muscles relax, and now your stress level's going down? I'd say it's healthier. Some people say, no, you shouldn't do any sports, you just lay on the couch and get obese and eat lots of fat. Okay. So I'm a fan of pharmaceutical products that have a time and place. I try and use this as minimal as possible. What I really find helps with my asthma, obviously being vegan, cut the dairy, that was like a nightshed, watershed moment. But if I find if I eat too much oil, coconut oil, plant oil, avocado, whatever, then I find the allergies from the cat food stays in my system longer and I get a bit more asthmatic. So what I found, huge tip, if you do suffer breathing issues, keep your fat under 20 grams of fat a day, and you'll find if you ever need this stuff, it'll be a lot less. Right? So I have this maybe a couple times a week, or sometimes not even every week or every month. But if my asthma's flowing up for too much fat, too many vegan burgers, etc., then this is a godsend, absolute godsend. So, so that's the deal there. That's why I just laugh when I see these people out there. Oh, Chris Froome and Lance Armstrong and Team Sky and blah blah blah, Miguel Indurain and blah 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 blah. They got caught with drugs. They're cheats. It's like, man, everyone's on drugs. You're on drugs. On Cycling News Forum, typing this. You've got your coffee at work and you're your modafinil, you're reeling. Oh, these dopers, these hypocrites, get them from the sport. They idiot. You're on drugs, man. Alright. I'm not. No, it's illegal. It's like caffeine was banned at one point. Ephedrine was banned at one point. Like, if it's on the banned list, it's doping, man. And if it's not, even if it's not on the banned list, if you're taking it to enhance your performance, and it's a pharmaceutical product sold at the chemist, sold at the drug store, you're taking the drug to enhance performance, whether it's legal or not. You're a doper. You're doping. I'm a doper. You're a doper. Not every time, but we dope. All right. So I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying it is what it is. Don't deny it. Don't bullshit people about it. Don't say, well, I don't do that. That's what just gets on my goat. You got these people out there who take steroids on Instagram, and then they claim they don't. And it's like, man, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, man? It's clear as day you're taking steroids. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong with that. If you want to, it's your body, your choice. But why would you deny it? And the worst one is they selling a program to people how to build muscle naturally. And it's like, dude, you're on steroids. Take away the steroids. Like, no one looks like you coach, man. No one has gotten those results that you've gotten. Show me one person. They always block you or ignore that question. So if you're following your guru and they've got this jacked, rippled physique, wow, that physique's amazing. Right? And that's fine. But ask them, hey, is there anyone out you've coached who's gotten beyond your results? Oh, there's not. Okay. Why? Because they're natty and that person's steroids. And they ain't going to ever compare like that, If you got two twin brothers, same genetics, one gets on the gas, steroids, proper steroids, I'm not saying you should, I'm just saying, pharma grade, and does it proper, their physique is going to explode compared to the natty brother. Just saying. And this is why I love making this content, just to educate people. Knowledge is power, like the right knowledge is power, versus cognitive, what would you call it? Just cognitive failure, Cognitive failure, where people just like believe something's not true. It's insane, It baffles me. So that's my little doping story there. And then there's been years where I've used nothing. I've used no caffeine, no cacao, no steroids, no asthma puffers, full natty bra. That would have been probably from 2007 through to 2011 maybe. And then I started having a bit of caffeine before running races sometimes. And my conclusion is caffeine, it doesn't enhance performance. My conclusion is, it's a negative, especially in hot weather. I would say this one though, and I've done tests with my girlfriends as well, put caffeine, etc. in their drinks, we didn't know about it. Test their power's even lower because they're more in their head. Music is the number one stimulant. Music's the best, right? Music, emotion, that's number one stimulant. Second, in terms of actual something you're going to put in your body, asthma puffers. Nothing comes close to that because it's all about breathing. And we're talking about cardio sports here. We're not talking about weight training and stuff like that. Then that's going to be steroids for sure. which I'm not saying you should do that. I'm just saying that's what's going to be the game changer. And they're so cheap, and they're so easy to get, and they're so common, and they're so easy to pass a drug test with. All right, so I love the people out there who've never actually taken steroids, who will tell me that I'm wrong. Juno doesn't have a clue. It's like, bro, you never even used steroids, man. You've never even used steroids. Or maybe you took some fake shit, didn't work. You've never used pharma-grade steroids, and you're telling me that I'm wrong. That all my experiences with myself and other people over the last 24 odd years, since 97 being around steroids, that I'm wrong. And Mr. or Mrs. I've never done steroids, but my opinion's really weighted, is right. Like, you just, I mean, it's like me telling you, like, what's in your backyard. And I've never been there. I'm just imagining what's in your backyard. Well, there's a bit of grass, and there's a concrete, and there's a flower pot, and you might live in an apartment block. I don't, you know, like, it's such arrogance, man. Such arrogance. True, oh, that physique's achievable nerdy. I'm sure it is. Oh, I look like that. No, you don't, bro. You don't. You know, my mum even said, I love my mum, but she makes me laugh a lot, and that's good. My mum thought her arm looked like Athlean X. She's like, Mum, it's pretty big. I'm like, your arm looks nothing like Athlean X, Mum. Love you, but your arm looks nothing like, it's big, it's fat. Fat ain't the same as ripped muscle, alright? There's nothing wrong with that, I'm just saying, alright? Let's compare apples with apples, not apples and oranges. You know, this is... people send me a photo, like, I look like Athlean X. It's like, dude, you're fat. You don't. Maybe you're the same weight and the same height, but he's got muscle, steroid muscle, and you've got fat from KFC, etc. Or cheese and olive oil and stuff like that. And there's nothing wrong with it, I'm just saying. Like, it always gets me triggered. So that's the deal there. But yeah. Do I encourage people to use doping products? No, not at all. Just being transparent, honest with it. And that's why you can trust me as a coach, because I'll tell you what actually does work and what doesn't work. I can say, as a cyclist, using D-Bol, Winstrol, Stanozolo, same thing, Anadrol, testosterone gels, caps, patches, injections, etc. As a cyclist, endurance cyclist, not very good at all. In cold weather, that can be good, but my natty watts is about the same. 5 minute, 10 minute, half an hour. My natty watts is the same. And being natty, I'm about 10 kilos less. So as a hill climber, run, etc., the steroids don't help. They add extra weight to you. That's why EPO is so popular. I never use EPO. I've had friends who use it. EPO, you can stay deathly skinny, like Cookie Man, and have the mutant watts, like a 90 kilo rider would have. So that's why EPO is so popular. Testosterone can give the blood boost, but it's going to add weight to you. It's going to add kilos to you. So it's a bit like, it's a bit counterproductive. So EPO, that's why EPO is so popular, because it just gives you that, you can still have that super, super skinny physique, which normally associated with anemia. Then you can bring your hemoglobin right up to 220, 230, and then dilute it down so you pass your test, and then you just like, poof, you're making bank. You're putting out 7 watts per kilo, etc. With minimal effort. Relatively speaking. So that's right there. So I can have all these experiences, and my personal curiosity has been quenched, and I find it really interesting. But yeah, I think society needs to know the truth about doping. Even that word doping, like drug use, call it drug usage, because doping's like, well, you use EPO and steroids. I drink caffeine, take asthma pills. I'm not a doper. You are. My doctor gave it to me. Oh, you got a doctor too. Oh, you got TUE. Oh, well, it's not doper. Like, come on. Drug usage. If you're using drugs, you're using drugs. Whether it's your puffer, your caffeine pills, etc. You're using drugs. Whether it's steroids, EPO. Obviously, there's a scale of it, but it's drugs are drugs. Performance-enhancing drugs. Start at the office. Oh, I'm tired. I need some wake up. There's some Provigil or caffeine. Right? I've got a headache, painkiller. Everyone's on drugs. Almost everyone.